Spida Hunter from ehpfitness.com. He knows a bit about fitness.
Yes, he's already been working hard at the gym so that we don't have to, or at least he's telling us how we should be working at the gym. It is Spida Hunter from ehpfitness.com, Spida, S-P-I-D-A Hunter on Twitter as well. G'day there, Spida. How you doing?
Morning, Wammo. I'm alright, brother. Thank you. I'm a bit tired, like you said, working out so no one else has to.
And what are we doing today on the show?
I'm fortunate enough to have a very lucky... well, maybe she's not lucky, but I've got Summer in here. Her name's Summer, and she's going to show us a couple of exercises. She's worked out with us this morning. It was her first time, so she did everything that we did. And you're
going to make her work out again?
Oh, yeah, mate. She's tough, you know. Not a pussy 16-year-old. She's a tough 16-year-old.
And what particular area are we working on, and why, actually? Is Summer being injured?
Yeah, what we're going to show is really two good exercises to strengthen the backs of your legs, which are your hamstrings and your glutes, and also stabilise training one leg at a time with the static lunge. And the reason we're going to do that, Wammo, is because Summer had a ACL reconstruction about 6 months ago, 3 months ago? August, whatever that is.
About 6 months ago or so. Okay, all right, well,
yeah.
Let's crack on into it.
Okay, brother. Right. So the first exercise, Wammo, is what's called a hip extension. So I'll explain it as well so someone can hear and people that are listening can get a visual representation of it. Basically, you want your feet either on the floor or on something. We've got a really expensive toy here, Wammo, that you can see.
Yeah, it's a tyre, Spida. How much did that cost you? Couple of bucks?
Actually, mate, I think... Oh, no, don't. You don't be silly. You just go to the Wreckers.
Okay.
So we've got a tyre here, and you put your feet on the tyre. It can be anything. So it can be a couple of telephone books. It can be even a chair, but that's quite a lot of leverage. And all she's doing is she's lying down on her back with both her feet on the tyre. And what she's going to do is she's going to drive her hips up, right up into the air as high as she can get them, and she's going to squeeze her bum at the top, and then she's going to drop her hips back down again, and then she's going to drive her hips all the way back up, and you want your knees together, your bum tight, your abs tight, and then back down again. And what's happening here, Wammo, is that it's strengthening her bum and also her hamstrings. And
I'd imagine abs as well.
It does your abs as well, because you've got to tighten up your bum and you've got to tighten up your abs. But it doesn't so much isolate, but it does function, get through the hamstrings, and the hamstrings are the backs of your thighs. And they're really important muscle group to strengthen, because we're so front dominated and not very back dominated, which means anything we can't see.
And is Summer finding this one quite difficult, quite hard?
Do you find this one hard, Sammy? She doesn't find it too hard, so we'll jazz it up, eh? So what we're going to do to jazz it up, because she's doing two legs now, we're going to go to one leg. So now she's going to extend the leg, which is her right leg, because her left leg had the operation. So you imagine now she had two legs on the tyre. Now she's only got one leg on the tyre, and she's going to drive her hips up as high as possible with the one leg. So drive up some. Good. And you want your hips square. You don't want them twisted either way. You want your hips square. And you'll be able to isolate one leg in particular, or one hamstring, one side of your butt a bit more. And we can see her hips are a little bit twisted, so we need to tweak those a little bit. Yeah. And then that's one way to help strengthen one leg at a time, Wammo.
Crikey. I guess you wouldn't recommend doing this too soon after such an operation, but this is like way further down the track, right?
Oh, actually, to be fair, you can actually, because most people after ACL reconstruction, she had a couple of other things done to her knee as well. Most people can't actually bend the knee in this position, but you can tweak it by taking the tyre or your feet on the floor. So if she was post, 3-4 weeks after operation, you put her feet on the floor like so.
Yeah.
And you would take your feet further out, so you don't have as much leverage. Your leverage is in your favour. Whoops, I just lost you.
Yeah.
So now I should drive her hips up. So it's exactly the same exercise, but we're taking away how hard it is.
Right, okay. So the elevation actually makes it harder.
Correct. The elevation makes it harder, and having your bum closer to your feet makes it harder, as opposed to extended away from you makes it harder, as easier if the feet are away from you.
And you recommend being quite tense, as you're saying, squeeze your buttocks.
Yeah, squeeze your bum and squeeze your abs, and that will have a rippling effect to the rest of your body. Because if you think of it, if you've got a string and you pull it tight, it creates tension throughout.
Yeah.
But if you have slack in the middle, the extremities of the string is got slack and no tension in it as well. So therefore, you just got, there's no tension anywhere. You can't isolate or you can't function on one particular thing.
Great. Well, is there anything else?
We'll do the lunge, because that's a good one for people. So she's been practicing this lunge. So she's going to do a static lunge, which is facing us, one leg here, and she's going to come up. So a static lunge, 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot behind you, and you're just going to drop your rear knee to the floor, and you're in a nice tall upright position in your posture. It's a real simple exercise, and this is one I wouldn't suggest to do straight away at the depth that she's doing Wammo post ACL reconstruction.
Okay.
Because you can't bend your knee after surgery on a knee reconstruction. So. Yeah. But yeah, she's been practicing this one because it helps isolate one leg at a time. And
both feet facing directly forward. And how far apart?
The how far apart is relative. I like a wider stance. Like she's got a relatively wide stance because it helps open up the hips. So all the muscles that tighten up with the sitting at a chair. This is a great one to help open up the hips. So men struggle with the length. So if you take a natural step forward, which is what I get people to do, and then from that position do a lunge, and if they can tweak it, then you go a little bit further.
Well, great work. It's been a really a team effort this morning, Spida.
Yeah, it has, mate. It has, and some of everything we did this morning even pushed the truck.
Really? What run out of gas?
No. We had a big truck here that one of the clients had a truck, so we were pushing it about 25 metres 2 times each. And she gave it a nudge, mate.
Yeah. Move on to a Boeing at some stage. I'd like to see that.
A Boeing?
Yeah.
Somewhere onto a Boeing. Okay, yeah. We'll get that. Maybe she could have a rope in her teeth and pull it.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, thanks, Spida. We'll catch you on
pleasure,
ehpfitness.com and also on Twitter.